How to focus is one of the most frequently asked questions out there, and most of the answers that you'll find are short term. Things like noise cancellation headphones or some random app that will help you focus. And don't get me wrong, they help, but only for a while. All of them are short term fixes.
It requires great focus.
But I have great focus. Oh my God. Sam?
Your focus needs more focus.
In this video, I want to go a bit deeper. Something that is not a quick hack, but a long-term solution. And as always, we will talk about the tools that are rooted in ancient wisdom, but backed by modern neuroscience. But before we begin, I have a small challenge for you. Try watching this video till the end. And if any moment you feel like dropping off, just comment the time when you dropped off. This will ensure that you are self-aware and monitoring the duration for which you can focus in one go. Always remember, any change starts with self-awareness. So let's get into it. So let's just start with the most underestimated tool for focus that we carry with us all the time. It's the oxygen. Science tells us that low oxygen in our brain, specifically the limbic system, can cause confusion, poor concentration, and impaired memory. It's quite simple. When your brain isn't breathing well, it is not thinking well. Numerous studies have shown that hypoxia or the lack of oxygen directly affects your ability to stay attentive or emotionally regulated. So what's the solution? Patanjali in Yoga Sutra provides Ashtanga Yoga. One of the 8 limbs of yoga is Pranayama. Pranayama, or controlled breathing, when done over a longer period of time, increases the oxygen concentration in your body. And we have previously established that more oxygen leads to a sharper brain. Study shows that regular practice of pranayama leads to reduced stress, improved sustained attention, and enhanced overall cognitive performance. So next time you feel you are distracted and unable to focus, just take out a moment and start breathing like a yogi. We all have seen that famous image from Bhagavad Gītā. There are 5 different horses, Krishna is holding the reins, and Arjuna is sitting back in the chariot. Most people see this as a spiritual image, but in reality it is a powerful metaphor for your life. The chariot represents you, Krishna represents your inner wisdom, and the 5 horses represents your 5 senses. Now each of those 5 senses, eyes, nose, ears, skin, and tongue, want something, and like horses, they want to pull you in different directions. Your eyes are constantly chasing dopamine. That's why you are constantly glued to reels and other visuals on your smartphone. Your ears are constantly plugged into noise, background chatter, podcast, music, or any other thing that you hear. Your tongue wants the next sweet or spicy hit. Your skin looks for comfort. And to be honest, your phone feeds most of these cravings all at once. And this is a real issue. The world around us today is designed to keep us overstimulated. Every app, every ad, every little notification is designed to keep you hooked and catch your attention. Distraction in today's world is not accidental, it's a business model. Here's why it gets serious. Everything that you see, hear, and consume directly affects how your brain works. If you're constantly training your brain to switch something if it's boring every 15 seconds by watching reels, you are preparing it to get distracted. So whenever something boring happens in your life, your brain will move back to its deep conditioning and look for something that gives you a dopamine hit. Now let's get back to the Bhagavad Gītā image that we talked about. The chariot is not crashing because Krishna, who represents your inner wisdom, is holding the reins. But the horses that represent your senses are too wild, even the best driver cannot hold them. So what should we do? The answer is quite simple. Once a week, take a break from all this noise. Just go on a sensory fast. No screens, no social media, no junk food, and no loud music. Just give your body and mind a chance to slow down. Most of us have felt this. We stop scrolling Instagram and switch back to our work and try to focus. But the brain still feels a bit foggy. You are sitting in front of your computer trying to focus, but your mind is kind of stuck somewhere else. This is a well-known psychological effect known as attention residue. So here's what is happening. Every time you switch tasks from something that is as stimulating as social media to something that requires deep focus, your brain doesn't switch instantly. A part of your attention is still processing what you are doing. Your thoughts are still divided between the reel that you watched and the work that you are doing. And naturally, while that's happening, your cognitive performance drops. So while technically you are sitting in front of your computer and doing the task, you are mentally not present. Psychologists have found that when we quickly jump between tasks that are not related to each other, our brain takes time to close the file on the first one before fully switching on to the next one. So even if it feels like multitasking, your brain is actually stuck in transition. And that's why ancient Indian rishis didn't go from their daily life straight into a meditation session. They eased into it. There were a set of pre-rituals before every meditation session. And these rituals weren't random. They created a mental buffer that provided signal to the brain that it's time to shift from one task to another. Now, obviously, in our modern day-to-day life, when we are switching from one task to another, we cannot go ahead and light a diya. But we can definitely create a small reset moments between the tasks. Something that is offline and something that is slow. So maybe you can go for a walk, you can water a plant, you can clean your desk, or maybe take 3 deep breaths. This helps your brain pause, reset, and fully let go of the task that you were doing earlier. That's how you moved from a scattered brain to a focused brain, not by forcing it, but providing it a mental space to switch gears properly. There is a story in Gita where Krishna and Arjuna are standing in the battlefield and Arjuna says, Krishna, the mind is so restless. Controlling it feels harder than controlling the wind. Krishna says, Abhyasin tu kaunteya vairagyan cha grihate. Through deliberate practice and detachment, it can be controlled. Now the reality is the world around us is designed in a way that each one of us will get distracted, even the people who meditate daily. But the idea is not to maintain a perfect focus. The idea is to gently bring back your mind every time it wanders. This concept is called deliberate practice. It is when you train your brain to perform a specific mental activity, and thanks to neuroplasticity, our brain actually starts rewiring itself. The more you bring your attention back, the more it becomes easier for you to stay in the present. So how do we do it in our daily life? Start with something that is ridiculously small. Commit to yourself that you will read at least 1 page of a book every day before sleeping. Do that for a week and then maybe make it 2. And maybe the week after you can make it 5. With this, your brain starts adjusting to this new ways of focusing and your brain starts rewiring itself. By doing this, you are not blocking your thoughts, you are training them to return to a particular point. Most of us, when we wake up, we immediately reach out to our phone. We start scrolling, we check WhatsApp, we check emails, we check phone calls and whatnot. Your mind is the most impressionable right after you wake up. Your brain is still transitioning out of the theta waves that are responsible for creativity, calm, and deep subconscious processing. And this is when your prefrontal cortex is waking up gently. So when you bombard it with social media reels, news, or notifications, you are hindering that entire process of waking up. Your attention gets scattered even before the day begins. And by looking at reels and by looking at the lives of people who you are connected to, your cortisol level spikes. And that's why ancient Indian saints had something called Brahma Muhurt. That was your cleanest cognitive window of the entire day. And that's why they performed all kind of yoga and meditation in that time. So what can you do? It's quite simple. When you wake up, don't touch your phone for the first 30 minutes. Sit in silence for 10 minutes, do some yoga or stretching, maybe read a book, or the best thing you can do is write a gratitude journal. All these tiny habits gives a signal to your brain that you are in charge for the day, not your inbox, not your social media notification, and not your intrinsic thoughts. Because once the mental noise kicks in, once the senses start running wild, it becomes way harder to pull them back. Your morning is your anchor and you have to protect it. Take a look at the space where you work or study. Is it clean or calm, or is it cluttered? Most of us don't realize this, but our environment plays a huge role in how focused our brain can be. This idea is called environment design, which basically means you design your environment in a way that supports the state of mind you want to be in. If your space is messy and full of distraction, your mind and your brain will be the same. But if your space is clear and intentional, your brain will start responding accordingly. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there is an entire limb of Ashtanga Yoga called Niyam, inner discipline. It talks about how it is important to maintain cleanliness, not just in body but your surrounding and your mind as well. The idea is simple: a clean space leads to a clear mind. So here's what you can do today. Pick a spot where you want to work or study. Keep it clean and simple. Don't keep anything distracting within your line of sight. Not your phone, not any kind of snacks, or not the book that you meant to finish. Put your phone in another room and silence the notification for the duration you want to do the work. Over a period of time, your brain will start recognizing that place as a place for clear thinking. So whenever you go there and start working on your project, on any creative task, your brain will automatically switch into a mode that it thinks will help you achieve your cognitive goals. Always remember, focus is not turning yourself into a machine. It's more about guiding your own chariot. Someday the horses, your senses, will run wild, and other days you will feel clear and in control. But every time you get distracted, sit down, remember all these steps and practice them over a period of time. You will have a brain that is clear and focused. So that's all for today. If this video helped you even a little, share this with someone who is struggling to focus. And if you want more content like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay connected.